When you awaken, um, something happens to your spirit. I could say and this is something only an awakened soul can understand. So a person who is not awakened, they can think you're making stories, you're trying to be sensitive, or you're talking about something you don't understand. But it's only something that actually an awakened soul understands. When you awaken, something lifts in the spiritual world, and you see the truth. So for a lot of you guys who didn't know this, the truth is a code. Okay, the truth is a code. It's a key. All of us, we are free because we found that key. Okay, for a lot of us who have awakened from after narcissistic abuse, we found the key. However it happened, maybe it was the universe by universe design. We found the key, and we understood what was narcissism, and we broke free. So you peel through an illusion, and because you want to understand this illusion, the layers of illusion and deceit. So what normally happens, you try to dig because it's so interesting. So you try to dig even more because you want to know more about this truth. So what happens now, you start going down the rabbit hole. And you see one of the thing happens, one very funny thing happens. I don't know if I should call it funny, but I could say for some people it may even be unbelievable, uncomfortable. You now start to see these boats, you know? You see the boats. You're like, what? You see, because you see, when you awaken, later on, this doesn't happen in the initial weeks or whatever. It can take some time, but later on you see, and you realize that these people don't have a soul. There is people that don't have a soul. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know the reason as to why you hear people who talk about things like, oh, uh, the celebrity, that celebrity sold their soul. This one sold their soul. You hear a lot of those things because a lot of them don't have a soul, ladies and gentlemen. So a lot of them, when you hear the people talking about they sold their soul, it means that the only thing you're worshiping is a boat now. All you're left with is a boat. A boat with so much money and so many cars and big mansions, but they don't have a soul. Okay? Whatever happened to their soul, whatever they sold it, because I even heard sometimes people get into some spiritual contracts and they do different rituals when they do this. I don't know whatever happens, but I've heard some people talking about that. I don't want to go into that direction, but you see the truth, what is going on. People don't have a soul. So I remember I took one time, I was on a public transport. So I remember, so I'm seeing this boat which was opposite me, because now I could understand. I've told you that now I start to see the ones that don't have a soul. So I could now see this boat on the other side. And on the T-shirt there was a message: "Your soul is mine." Now me, I'm waking up at that time and I'm starting to see the matrix and they say games we have always been playing and the illusion. I start to see everything. I say, wow. So this is exactly why these boats used to swing in and out of my life, because they was after my soul. Because you see, when a person doesn't have a soul, part of their menu, or I could say the main part of their menu, is somebody with a soul. Because then now they can start feeding. You see? Is why me, I don't have those things of celebrity. You don't see me following behind celebrities. Oh, this one is the superstar, that one is a superstar. Yes, it's a good thing to have a lot of money because you do things what you want and everything, but what is the use of having a lot of money without a soul? So you start to understand that you've always had a soul, chosen ones. Is the reason why these beings have always been after you, because you have a real soul. And your soul is not for sale. So when a person comes, let's say for example, a person comes and they say, oh, you know what? If you give us your permission, we are going to make you very famous. We are going to do this, we are going to do that, but in return, then they'll give them some conditions. You will do this and you'll do this and you'll do this. Okay? They make some kind of agreement. And they may sign, sometimes they may even sign those signatures in blood. That is the moment they lose their soul. Is why you hear people talking about they sold their soul. That's what they mean. Okay? So a lot of chosen ones, the enemy has always been on your case because the enemy knows you have a soul, you have a real soul. And these bots know only by being around you or sometimes harvesting your energy, that is the only way they can thrive. The whole spiritual battle you've seen in your life, you've been battling, chosen one. From day one, from the moment you started dealing with your narcissistic parents, you was dealing with your narcissistic teachers, you was dealing with your narcissistic neighbors, friends, partners, relationships. From the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, everything was about your soul. That's all it was. The battles you was fighting battles for your soul. And there is nobody that is much more desperate than the person without a soul. Because you see, there is something they feel inside of them. They feel this gaping hole. They feel like this general emptiness. It's like if you're spoken to self-aware narcissists, the ones who are starting to become aware, even the ones that are starting to figure out what it is, one of the things they will tell you, there's a time when they feel this emptiness. It's very difficult to explain, but I think they understand what it is. They feel that void inside of them, especially if they don't have anyone around them. There's that void. It's why sometimes you heard me in my videos, I talk about balloons, full of air. There's nothing, there's no content, there's nothing inside there. They have a void. So what they do, for them to fill up that void, they need to go and connect themselves to a real soul. Is why I did a video and I told you before. The devil doesn't want you with your soulmate. The devil always sends these narcissists towards you. Because the devil understands they don't have a soul. So they send these narcissists towards you and they start to harvest your energy. The whole battle you have been fighting, my chosen one, it has been a battle for your soul. It has been a battle for your energy. It has been a battle for your destinies. And there's a lot of these evil people you see running around on this globe. The only reason why you see people worshiping them and they have a lot of money and wealth and all these things is because they are living somebody else's destiny. So they go around looking for people with real souls. They do some rituals. Sometimes they sleep with you. They do something and they harvest your soul. They go to the next one. The moment they are finished yours, they go to the next one. That's what they do. So they move up and down all over the place, harvesting people's souls and destinies. So for the most of you guys who have not yet seen my video, I did a video about calling back your destiny. If a person who has been struggling like that, you feel like, nothing is happening, you're burnt out, you feel like it's because somebody else is playing around with your energies. There is somebody that has been manipulating your soul for years, for decades. I've told you, I met this woman, this woman who was in the boat. Even before I had read that word, I'd already seen what exactly this person was. It was just a soulless being just there, wherever it is they was going. So in most of the cases, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand a lot of people don't have the information that they need. is why you see a lot of suffering going on this planet, because people don't know the things they need to know. Somebody will teach them what they want them to know, but they will never know what they need to know. So the entire battle, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a battle between the light and the darkness, a battle between good and evil, a battle between the soulless and the ones with the soul. That's what it has been. But the moment you understand this, you're going to fight differently, because you know what it is. You see, when you understand these spiritual subjects and spiritual matters, you take the game on an entirely different level, because you can no longer be used and manipulated the same way things used to happen back in the days. You know, the game will change completely. The rules will change, because nobody no longer has access to your energy, okay? So let us know what you think about the video, guys. You always know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will see you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.